Hi, I'm funny motivational speaker Amy Dee. And as a speaker, I use stories and metaphors to teach my audience how to use their thoughts to thrive through challenging times. So today my topic is self-care for caregivers, or in other words, how to take care of yourself while you care for others. These days, my husband Steve and I are sandwiched between helping our adult kids, our grandkids, and our elderly parents. So it just seems like we always have a lot going on. And in addition, these past 3 years have been peppered with not only challenging times, but also some really sad events. So today, I'm going to share with you one of my very favorite phrases. And this is such an empowering phrase that it helps me shift my perspective and move more gracefully through big and small challenges. I honestly use this every day. But first, I'm going to start with a story. So it was a Wednesday in August of 2019, and I was sitting in the Indianapolis airport. I was waiting to fly to the Atlanta airport where I'd catch the last flight to Myrtle Beach. Because the next day in Myrtle Beach, that would be on Thursday, I was scheduled to give a keynote at noon. And I was really looking forward to Myrtle Beach because I knew the meeting planner had booked me into this luxurious suite overlooking the ocean. And I planned to have a really nice dinner because I really wanted to be energized for my fourth and final keynote speech that week. And then afterwards, I'd get to fly home for the weekend. Yay! It was exciting. So I'm sitting in the Indianapolis airport waiting when all of a sudden my flight is delayed due to mechanical difficulties. And then it's delayed and delayed and delayed again. And finally, it was delayed so many times that I missed my connection to Myrtle Beach and I had to rebook my flight. So now, instead of staying in a luxurious suite with an oceanfront view, I'd be sleeping in a hotel next to the Atlanta airport. Whoopee, right? So the plan now was to stay overnight in the Atlanta and then fly to Myrtle Beach the next morning. And I'd end up arriving just shy of 1 hour before I was going to get onto the stage. It really wasn't ideal, but it was doable. It would work. It's part of flying. But my flight just kept being delayed and delayed and delayed, and I finally arrived in Atlanta at like 11 o'clock p.m. It was really late. And I raced to the service desk to get my complimentary hotel room. There was a long line, and when my turn came up, the Delta guy says, sorry, we don't have any comped rooms left. And I'm exhausted. I'm starving. I stink. I need a sandwich. I need a shower. I need a bed. So I start whining like a 4-year-old child. I'm like, please help me. In less than 13 hours, I'll be in Myrtle Beach speaking to 1,000 people. Please help me. But the Delta guy didn't care. He just hands me this list of hotels and says, try these. Hey, if you get a room, Delta will reimburse you, okay? All right, lady. Next. So I immediately call Steve back in St. Cloud for help. And for 15 minutes, we're speed dialing every hotel in the area, and we're looking for a room. Nothing. No vacancies anywhere. So I was stuck. I was actually stuck in the huge Atlanta airport for the night. You know that moment when you realize something bad has just happened to you? Like that moment when you mush into a pile of dog poo? Or that moment you pull a long hair out of your lo mein? Or the moment you're you've got a cold, but oh, you're just laughing and you're snorting with friends, and suddenly a nose bubble the size of Biosphere 2 blows out of your nostril. You know what I'm talking about? Bad. It's bad. And that's how I felt the moment I realized that I would be sleeping overnight in the Atlanta airport. Now, I'd really like to say that I was cheerful about it all. And I was, what a delightful adventure. This'll be fun. But no. I was really, really unhappy. So while I'm looking for a bench to bed down on, I'm texting Steve. Must be nice sleeping in a soft bed, you jerk! Hey, bozo, did I wake you up? Oh, poor baby. I quit! I'm running away! Don't try to find me! And honestly, at that point, there is no chance he would have. I am fuming. I'm texting while I'm looking for a bench to sleep on. And when suddenly I just stopped and I took a deep breath because I realized that being angry and sending nasty text messages wasn't helping me. And just like that, I remembered one of my favorite sayings. Recognize what you can change and make the best out of what you cannot change. Here it was. Like it or not, I was going to sleep in that Atlanta airport that night. So now I just had to figure out the best way to do it. And so I did. I found some chairs to, kind of spread out on. I used my red dress as a blanket. I used my purse as a pillow. I wore my sunglasses to block out the fluorescent lights. And after a couple of honestly miserable hours of sleep, I woke up to, try to freshen up, wash, get dressed, and do my makeup in the airport mirror in the bathroom. A few hours later, I arrived in Myrtle Beach, and I got there just in time to jump on that stage. I didn't look good. My red dress was puckered. I was pungent. I'd only penciled in one eyebrow, but my keynote went great. I even got a standing ovation. And best of all, I learned how to sleep in an airport, which was really helpful 1 month later when the exact same thing happened, and I ended up sleeping in the Salt Lake City airport and arrived in Lake Tahoe the next day just in time to jump on stage. So you may be asking yourself right now, how does self-care and caregiving fit into this story? Well, here it is. When you are facing a challenging situation, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, can I change this? And if I cannot change this, how can I make the best out of it? This phrase is one of the most powerful tools I can give you because it doesn't only shift your perspective, it also challenges you to find creative ways to cope. So here are some ways I've recently used this. In 2020, Steve and I had house guests for 6 consecutive months. 6 months. My daughter, her boyfriend, their dog, my mother-in-law. It was a lot, but it all went pretty well. I mean, we had to put our cat on Prozac, but other than that, it went pretty well. And it went well because, first of all, we realized that we couldn't change the fact that our family needed us. So instead, we created and followed a plan to make the best of it. Another example, when COVID hit in March of 2020, all my speaking events were postponed. Fact was, we could not change COVID, but we could make the best of it by setting up a studio and offering virtual keynotes. In the past 3 years, Steve and I have moved twice, moved my mom once. I have performed well over 100 times from coast to coast. And my beautiful father and my very, very best friend of 37 years died. Some of these times were heartbreaking, really hard, really hard. And some were just lots and lots of work. But inside of each and every one of these experiences, what has helped me is this phrase: recognize what you can change and make the best out of what you cannot change. Because the truth is, there are just some things we can't change. So whether you are going through a really difficult time like a death or trouble with your teenager, or you're going through a crazy, busy time jammed between work and homeschooling your kids and grocery shopping for your mom, or whether you're just sick and tired of it all, just sick and tired of it. You're tired of hearing your husband slurp his coffee. Tired of it. You're sick of looking at your 18-year-old's new neck tattoo. Or you're sick and tired of shaving your beard day after day, the beard that just keeps coming in thicker and darker. During the sad times, during the challenging times, during the frustrating times, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, can I change this? And if I cannot change this, what can I do to make the best of it? It's one simple way to take care of your caregiving self. So, if you're interested in learning more about my blogs, I have over 100 blogs on my website, or more about my speaking. I have some videos on there. My website is amydspeaker.com. You can subscribe to my blog or just peruse through them, or you're also welcome to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I'm really invested in now, amping up a bit. So, nice talking to you. Take care of your caregiving self.